This is the story of the day it snowed tortillas. And this story is a Hispanic folktale that has been retold many times by storyteller Joe Hayes. Once there was a beautiful woman who was married to a woodcutter. And this woodcutter was a very hardworking man. Every day he would get up and go to the forest and chop down wood and split it up and sell it in the village. He was a very hard worker. He and his wife had a great life together, but the woodcutter was not a very smart man. In fact, he did not know how to read or write, and he was always saying ridiculous things to the town villagers. But one day, he was chopping wood in the mountains, and he found 3 bags of gold. He opened up the bags of gold one after one and said to himself, "I've done it. I found the money. My wife and I will be rich. I'll never have to work again and life will be good for us." So he hurried home with the 3 bags of gold and said to his wife, look what I found in the mountains today. We're rich. We never have to work again." And his wife was so happy. She said, "Oh, I'm so excited. This is the best news. But you're not very smart, so please don't tell anyone about this, because I know this is stolen money, and people will come to look for their money, and they'll be bad men, and if anyone hears that we have the money, they will hurt us to take the money." And so the husband said, "Okay, well, I'll try not to tell anybody about the money." The wife thought to herself, "My husband is for sure going to take this money, and he will tell everyone in the village all about it." So she came up with a plan, and she said, "Oh, sweetheart, can you please go to the village and get me some flour?" And the husband said, "But I'm so tired. I've been working so hard." And the wife said, "Oh, please, I really need this flour, 100 pounds of flour." So the husband went to the village, and he got the flour, and the whole way there and the whole way back, he thought to himself, "This isn't fair. I work hard all day long, and all she wants me to do when I get home and bring the money is to bring her some flour. Not even a thank you for finding the gold or thank you for working hard, but go to the village and bring me some flour." So he gets home, and the wife says, "Oh, you look very, very sleepy. Maybe you should go to bed tonight. Right now, go to bed." So the husband says, "Well, that I can do." So he goes to bed, and he falls asleep. The second he fell asleep, the wife got to work. She made tortillas all night long. She made tortillas from floor to ceiling, and there were so many tortillas, and she picked up the tortillas and threw them all outside. And the ground around their house was covered with tortillas. And then she went to bed. And the next morning, when the woodcutter woke up, he said, "Why are there tortillas all over the ground?" And his wife said, "Oh, haven't you heard about snowing tortillas?" And the husband says, "No, I've never heard of it snowing tortillas." And the wife says, "Well, it snows tortillas all the time. You must not know about it because you're not very smart. Why don't you go to school today and learn something, and then you can be smart?" So the woodcutter agrees to go to school. And because he can't read or write and he's not very smart, they put him in a class with the little children. And the teacher says, "Does anybody know the answer, or does anybody know the letters?" And all the little kids would raise their hands, but the woodcutter didn't know. And he was very, very embarrassed. So he decided that he would leave. He had enough school. He didn't know how to read. He didn't know how to write. He had plenty of money. It was okay. Well, a few days later, sure enough, 3 bad men came to the house looking for their gold. And they knocked on the door real loud, and only the wife was home. And they said, "We hear from the villagers that you have our money. We want it back." And the wife says, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have any gold." And the robbers say, "Well, we're just going to wait here until your husband gets home, because we've heard him telling everyone in the village that you have gold." So they wait, and they wait, and they wait. And then finally, the woodcutter comes home. And they say to the woodcutter, "We want our gold." And the woodcutter says, "Well, I don't have it. I gave it to my wife, and she must have taken it and buried it somewhere." So they go back in the house and they say to the wife, okay, where's our gold? And she says, again, I don't know what you're talking about. And the woodcutter says, yes, you do. Remember, I got the gold and brought it home, and then it's Snowed Tortillas, and then I went to school. And the wife says, I don't know what you're talking about. And he says, yes, it's Snowed Tortillas, and then I went to school. You have the gold. And then the robbers thought, well, this guy's talking about snowing tortillas, and he goes to school, and he's old, and he seems a little crazy, so maybe the wife is right. So they left, and they never came back again, and the woodcutter and his wife kept the gold, and they lived happily ever after.